It's been a minute since I've been on YouTube, so definitely thankful um, to be tapping back in with you all. I want to, you know, first off, give a shout out to Limitless. Limitless is a state of being. Got the hoodie on right now. You feel me? Y'all tap in for them hoodies because it's fall season, turning into winter soon. So, you're going to want to be warm, be stylish, and have a good message on what you're wearing. You feel me? You might hear some stuff in the background. My partner, she cooking, so it's all good. You know what I mean? We're going to be eating good here sooner or later. But long story short, I wanted to hop on here and tap in with you all. There was a message that I felt needed to be shared, especially with today being the 30th of October. And the message is about Halloween. So y'all know me. I'm the type of person, I get straight to the point, you know what I mean? And it ain't too much like dilly-dallying, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just what it is and what it ain't. So, take a sip of that water. So let's go ahead and hop in. So, for one, let's break down the word Halloween, okay? Halloween. 2 syllables. Halloween. It's 3 syllables. But Halloween, the term Halloween is made of 2 words. And hallow being, when you look it up, it means to be holy. Hallow means to be holy, to be a state of holiness. And to ween means to believe or to suppose. I suppose this is because of your cognitive thought of what it already was or what you think it is or blah, blah, blah. So Halloween means to believe a holy, or for the day that they're saying it, to believe it's a holy day, right? So there's a reason why most indigenous tribes would do celebrations and things during this time of Halloween. Now, disclaimer, this video might be a little controversy for those that believe that majority of religions that they view, not religions, but holidays that they view are evil or, of the devil or something like that. But the truth of the matter is that everything has a polarity, okay? It's easy to cover up the truth when I just put a whole bunch of negative energy and negative thoughts and negative formations on top of something. So you have a basis, a foundation of what was, or what you would consider positive or enlightening or connecting or something like that. And then I just throw a whole bunch of filth on top of that. When you get there, you're only gonna, my bad. When you get there, you're only gonna see the filth. You know what I mean? You're not gonna even notice the foundation of what it was built upon, right? So when we're talking about Halloween, the original aspect of what it was for is because there's an energy. The veil between the living and spirit is a little bit thinner. So people, indigenous tribes, especially in like the western side, Mexico, South Central America energy, or area, they would typically honor the dead, the deceased, the transition, and they will honor them in many different ways. There's a celebration, Day of the Dead, and it's like 1 to 2 days that they celebrate this thing, and basically they'll take the bones of their ancestors. They'll dress them up. Sometimes they get the whole skeleton. They'll dress them up and everything, put clothes on them and stuff. Like, they'll just have them in the area of the celebrations. They'll keep the skulls typically, in the areas, and they're doing this to show honor and gratitude for what was for what was done, for the role that their ancestors played in, continuing to hone and channel the lineage, right? And so basically when we're talking about Halloween from a Western side of things, we've been seeing things about fear. We've been shown things, we've been shown things about fear, shown things about basically going to get candy, trick or treating, like just the terminology trick or treat. Like, it's not something that is a guaranteed positive experience, because you actually have both polarities of that statement right there in itself. So when we're looking at the term Halloween from a westernized perspective, we get movies like the movie Halloween. We get Friday the 13th, we get Jason, we get Freddy Krueger. Like, we get all these things, and people, instead of, in this culture, instead of them, excuse me, instead of them wanting to tap into their own ancestors, because, like I said before, the veil between spirit and humanity is a little bit thinner. They're tapping into these different spirits. You feel me? They're tapping into like spirits that might seem, a little bit more negative. A lot of times you'll see people dressing up as these uh, other entities that may feast on, like vampires or like werewolves and like, carnivores or like, man-eating type of beings, which is cool. No judgment. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But at the same time, truthfully, it's how you use the energy. That's why at the end of the day, the title of this video is Halloween, the polarity of Halloween, because, most people which are gonna, if you look at the world and you think about it on a scale of like 0 out of 100, and you're looking at it as a percentage, the majority of the percentage of the world is negative. That's the reason why we have so much chaos, killing, and all these things going on, because the majority of where humans are in their mindset is a negative mindset. It doesn't matter if you believe in whatever you believe in. A lot of times you're not practicing or doing the things that those prophets or gods or whatever told you to do in order to be a divine human being. So we're having these experiences where we're having a lot of negativity permeate this world. Well, if that's the case, then you're only gonna pretty much witness what the negative polarity of Halloween is. But when you step outside of that, you step into yourself, into your heart center, and realize, oh, okay, like, these people may be using this energy for this, but I'm gonna use it for this, because also a creator. I create the reality that I am living in. You create the circumstances you're in. You know what I'm saying? If you want to put in some work, you want to get somewhere, you have to do the action to get there, right? Otherwise, you'll be in a circumstance that you also created because of your lack of doing something. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is that when we're talking about the polarity of Halloween, we have to understand that there is a positive polarity to it. The positive polarity to it is, okay, I'm going to honor the saints, the prophets, like, my ancestors, like the beings that put forth the work and the effort in order for me to even get to this level of existence, or even get to this plane here, to even become a thought, you know what I'm saying, to even be here right now. We have to understand that you have a choice. You have a choice if you would rather, allow the beings that majority of the world is made, majority of the world is on this spectrum. So what you would call a negative spectrum, those type of people having influence over the energetic source that's kind of being permeated throughout. Because like I said before, like, when you're talking about, for example, when you're talking about like Christmas, for example, right? Or no, I would say this, Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is a time where indigenous tribes and people would typically fast. They wouldn't just eat up, because they were typically fasting because of the energy celestially and terrestrially that was aligned to give them a certain level of clarity, a certain level of connection to source or to the divine supreme creator, whatever you call it. They would do it in this manner, but in the Western side society, or the westernized, aspect of things, they instead feast. They're gonna eat. They become gluttonous during Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? It's about who got the biggest plate. What's your plate looking like? It ain't even about nothing spiritual. You know what I'm saying? It's about getting good food. So those are the polarities about Thanksgiving, and it's the same thing with every single holiday. You see what I'm saying? It's a holiday now, but those are typically holy days and another paradigm. You know what I mean? Like when people was more so about being that way instead of just putting on a facade that they are what they're holy, or like they're actually practicing the stuff that like I said, they're prophets, or these people, these beings that came down, we're speaking on doing. So it's important that when we're talking about these different holidays, especially Halloween and per se, you utilize the energy to your own benefit, to the benefit that um, you prefer to have an effect onto your reality, your existence. Because if energy can't be created nor destroyed, and there's a certain energy that's flowing about, if you choose not to interact with that, that's on you. There's still other people that's interacting with it and wielding it and creating things that they want to create because they're choosing to, and now you're subject to whatever they created because they took the time and the effort, the understanding, in order to you know promote that or to push that into the collective. So now you're at the whim of that. It's the same thing, we're talking about like maybe, I don't know, voting or something like that. Like people are like, oh, well, we're not going to vote because it's not going to make a change. Well, if you decide not to, and I'm not saying to vote or to not vote. Some people, it's a little bit different when you're on like a county level, or like just your whole community level. You know what I'm saying? Even if you voting for like a community watch, like, or a community guide, or somebody who's like, okay, I'm over this aspect. Or if you're in a group, or a fraternity or a sorority, and you're voting for the president, you know what I mean? Like, depending on who you vote for or don't vote for, there's gonna be alternate effects to that. You know what I'm saying? Even if you chose not to agree to it, you're still at the whim of it because you are involved, whether you want to be or not. You are living in the space, or you're interacting with people that's in the space. So you're going to be involved. And it's the same thing when it comes to these holidays or holy days. How are you using the energy? Are you just, mad about the fact that, oh, all my life I've been lied to, and this isn't that? Like, Christmas isn't about Santa Claus. It's actually about, I don't know, Jesus rising on the cross, or the sun coming down and it's not at its highest point anymore, and it's below its lowest point, or whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever your vision or your thought is for that reality, or not even reality, but that holiday. A lot of times people are just mad at the fact that they didn't know. But then when they do know, instead of making a adjustment or a change, they just don't want to even bother with it. And then they're upset when things still happen, but it's like, now. So you're held responsible. I always give this scenario, like, when you know something, it doesn't matter anymore. Like, if you do something that's like negative, or do something against what you know is right, because at that point in time, you're treated, and your reactions, whatever you want to call it, karma, the universe, those things come back to you in a manner that is equal to the level of knowing that you have in that situation. So if I'm talking about me being intentional, intentional about how I utilize this energy, because I know that my ancestors, this is an important time for me to connect with them and to give gratitude for them. And they're in the DNA. if you think about it, at the end of the day, like somebody birthed somebody, somebody birthed somebody, somebody birthed somebody, somebody birthed you. So you're connected to that source of birth, regardless if you want to. That's why they're your ancestor. And their DNA is within your vessel because it's all connected. So like, that's what funny part to me sometimes is like, and I ain't gonna go off no tangent for real, but it's just funny sometimes because it's like, yo, like you're forgetting the fact that we're literally our ancestors are within us, you know what I'm saying? So, and the thing about DNA is that human beings at this point in time, they don't really know a lot about DNA that they think they do. You know what I'm saying? At one point in time, not even 2, 3, 5 years ago, they were talking about ghost DNA. But now they're saying, oh, it's really not ghost DNA. Like, oh, there's more levels of strands of DNA that can be accessed when you expand your consciousness to a certain level. Or, oh, like, it's not that we don't use 100% of our brain. It's that, you're choosing not to tap into the full capabilities of your brain or of the mind and things like that. A lot of times people still think the brain and the mind are the same thing, but they're not. But that's a whole nother story. I'm not gonna go too deep off into that. Basically, I just wanted to share with you all that it's important when we're talking about these holidays or holy days or whatever to have your spin on it, your intention on it, because there's always a polarity to everything. What you consider negative, somebody else might consider positive. And even if you look at it in a different way or a different light, you might get that thought, oh, well, I thought that was a negative thing, but, now I'm actually seeing there's an actual other side to this. You know what I'm saying? And so with that being said, don't allow what you was taught in the past or how you felt about certain things in the past to dictate your forward motion or forward actions. It's because then you're subject to what you have always known or always believed in or always experienced. You'll never be able to experience something different because of that fact. So moving forward, just take things with caution. Like actually sit back and think about why is it that you feel this way or think this way. Do your own research. Open up your heart. That's the main thing. Because if you don't have no heart that's open up to receive and to accept and to see different viewpoints, you'll always be stuck. You'll always be stuck on where you're at. It'll be stagnant. You know what I mean? You might gain some wisdom or knowledge or information, but when the heart isn't there, it's just like, okay, you know, you can read that off of Google, you know what I'm saying? But it's different when you speaking it from the heart or experiencing something from the heart. So anyway, hope y'all enjoy y'all, Halloween or whatever. Tomorrow's October the 31st. For some cultures, it's the Day of the Dead, November 1st to the 2nd. A lot of Aztec cultures, they've been doing this for hundreds of thousands of years, you know what I'm saying? Because they understand. And that's okay, I just want you all to understand, this is my perspective, but, don't get stuck on, oh, is this, they're polytheistic or, oh, they're monotheistic or, oh, this, that, the other. When you truly understand that there's like one thing that connects us all, then both of those are true. You see what I'm saying? If you look at it from a pyramid, there's like one pyramid source, but then there's different levels to it. And it's all in one spectrum. So anyway, I want you all to enjoy the rest of y'all day. Thank y'all for tapping in. Y'all go ahead and tap into the website, www.limitlessenergy.org. It's going to be in the bio description. Tap in for the hoodies. You know what I'm saying? The hoodies, it's hoodie season now. Hey fellas, don't let your shawty take your hoodie. Go ahead and get her one too. You know what I'm saying? Like, and yeah, tap in with me. Ghana trip coming soon. I'll be doing another video on the Ghana trip coming soon. Also, I'm gonna do a recap video on the Costa Rica trip. It's been a lot going on. If you just follow me like on my neighborhood Negus YouTube, you might want to add me on my personal page on Instagram, Aasco, AIASCO. That way you can kind of see like what's really going on, because I ain't gonna lie, I've been neglecting y'all, and it's time I get back to it. You feel me? So thank y'all for tapping in. For those that do tap in, and yeah, we only going up from here. Peace.